I'm by no means a multimillionaire, but because I work from a laptop and I've been able to do things that are repeatable and put in systems, I can work from wherever I want. What's going on YouTube, it's Jason, and in this video, we're going to be discussing how to create a life of freedom. Now, this is a hot topic at the moment, mainly because there are loads of people in their 20s and 30s that are fed up with their jobs and want to be digital nomads. Unfortunately, all the advice in that space comes from people that have 9-figure businesses that are out of touch, or Love Islanders who just went on a show and now have a personal brand and work from a laptop anywhere in the world, typically going to the Maldives twice per year. But this advice isn't really practical for the average working man or woman, because to be frank, the advice doesn't come from real people. My name's Jason, I'm a real person. I was working in the corporate world for around 7 years in wealth management and finance. 5 years ago, I went online with my business, and now I work from anywhere in the world on my terms. What I'm gonna do in this video is give you 5 things that I did that allowed me to do that, and 5 things that you can do today to get you one step closer towards freedom. Number 1 is to start a side hustle. Everyone speaks about the glitz and glamour of starting their own business, but they often overlook this very crucial stage. A side hustle allows you to sound the market and see if people actually want the thing that you are offering. And on the back of that, I would say your side hustle should ideally be in one or both of these 2 things. Either a place of passion for you or something you are really good at, or even better, both things. The reason I advise this to other people is because if you're not passionate about this thing, or if you're not really good at it, and you can't do this thing on autopilot, how the hell do you expect to do that alongside a full-time job? If I think about my situation, I now coach clients online with their training and nutrition and mindset. But when I was in my day job, I was doing personal training in person alongside that day job. I was doing something like 80 to 90 hours per week for 5 years. How on earth would I have done that in banking and finance if I didn't have something I was passionate about? But because I was passionate about it and I was good at what I did, it didn't feel like work. And that was a game changer for me, because I was able to work all the hours around the clock without feeling too burnt out. If you end up working in a job that you don't like and the side hustle is just about money and you don't really like that thing either, I promise you, you are going to be burnt out before you know it. And if you get burnt out, guess what? You are not going to be able to scale that side hustle. Number 2 is more of a mindset principle, but you have to stop thinking like an employee. And there are 2 areas in which most people struggle to transition. Number 1 is trading time for money. This is the number 1 thing that will hold anyone back if they want to live a life of freedom. We're kind of drilled into thinking like we work for a certain number of days in a week and somebody gives us a salary at the end of the month. If you think like this when running your own business, you are going to struggle to live a life of freedom. What you should be trading is an end result or expertise. So, for example, when I was a personal trainer on the gym floor, I would charge someone 60 or 70 pounds an hour, right? For that hour or block of time. Now I'm online, I charge people monthly or for 12 or 16 weeks based on a result that I promised them, or an outcome. If you're running your own business, what you want to start to do is sell your skill set, not how long it's going to take the person, but the amount of years it took you to get to a stage where you can offer them that level of service to get them a result in 12 weeks or whatever it is. So stop trading time for money, stop thinking like an employee, start thinking like a business person. Mindset shift number 2 that you have to make if you are going to create that life of freedom is that you have to stop viewing your salary as your only income. You need to start to view your salary as income plus freedom. Back in the day, if you offered me a 7-figure job tied to a desk in the city at one location, or a 6-figure job working from anywhere in the world, I would have been like, that's a no-brainer. I would take the most money. Fast forward 10 years, my priorities have changed. I now view wealth as income plus freedom, and working from anywhere in the world for me is the ultimate flex. I don't want to have corporate dangle this bonus related pay carrot over me where they say you can get this much based on your employee review at the end of the year. No one gets the highest rating. There's some sort of politics as to why I can't get the second from highest rating, so I get the third highest down. And that means my pay gets massively docked. Coupled with the fact that I only get 2 days holiday per month on average, they're not terms that I want to sign up to. It doesn't mean that there's not stress and pressure working for yourself, but it's stress and pressure on your terms. Point number 3, and this is super important, probably the most important point out of these 5 points, but learn marketing. If you don't come from a marketing background, marketing in the business world, especially online, is everything. You can be the best at what you do. If you don't have a marketing budget and strategy, you are going to struggle in the online space. And I'd also add this on top of that I found that a lot of people that are trained in pure marketing for a corporate firm may not necessarily be the right people in a business sense. Yes, it's transferable. Yes, there'll be some fundamentals that cross over, but when you are marketing your personal brand, there are some things that you just may not learn in a corporate setting. And so what I'd advise people to do is learn from marketing gurus, learn from people that have done the thing that you're trying to do. When I went online, the first thing I had to do was invest in mentors. And I've done about 2 or 3 mentorships since that point, spending well over £10,000 on those courses. Now, yes, that might sound like a lot of money, but as far as I'm concerned, you don't know what you don't know. So yeah, invest in mentors, invest in courses, level up your advertising knowledge, your marketing knowledge, and also how to build a personal brand. Point number 4 is a practical step, but you don't need to replace your salary in order to leave your job. I always say people have these dreams about, I earn 100K in my day job and I'm gonna wait till my business gets to 100K as a side hustle, then I'm going to leave. I don't know many people, if at all, who had their side hustle get to that level before they left. What you want to do is get a proof of concept. So I advise people, let's say you're earning 100K in the city. When your business is making at least 50% of your day job, then you are in a position to leave, not because you have it made, but because you can try it out for 6 months to a year to see how it goes. Worst comes to worst, if it flops, you can always go back. And so what I did without going into the numbers is that I waited until I hit the somewhere between 60 and 70% of my day job. And then I gave myself 6 months, agreed it with my wife, obviously, to see how it goes. It went well, and I kept on going 6 months. And yeah, 5 years later in June this year, here I am. So don't wait for this perfect moment. 50% of your day job consistently, you're in a position to give it an implementation period. I would say at least 6 months if you can do it. If not, 3 is fine, but try it out first and then see where you go from there. And the final point, and this is where it takes real kahunas, set a deadline and stick to it. So let's say I started a side hustle today. I would set myself a target of say 2 or 3 years to grow this side hustle to 50% of my day job. And I'd say at that 3-year period, I am leaving my job regardless. Now, of course, if it's making no money, then don't be silly and just put yourself in jeopardy. But the idea is you want to set a realistic deadline, a smart deadline, and stick to it and execute as much as possible. Because other than that, all your side hustle or dream business is going to be is just a pipe dream. A lot of people fantasize about this idea of when they're going to give up their job and go it alone, and 10 years later it never happens because they don't set a deadline. Hold yourself to that deadline. Yes, it will increase the adrenaline and anxiety as you get closer, but that is going to push the right people into taking action. Now, I don't want to sell dreams about how you can build a 10-figure business and how anyone can do it, because the reality is this fifth point, it takes real balls, Sorry, it does. It takes that grit, it takes that ambition and that risk appetite. If you're not willing to do that, this life probably isn't going to be for you. But yeah, that's the 5 key things that I did to live the life of freedom on my terms and work from anywhere in the world. I was working in London for myself for about 3 years full time, and then I'm now in Dubai. Who knows where I could end up next? America, Bali, who knows? I'm not doing this to gloat, I'm just doing it to inspire people that you don't need to be mega rich. I'm by no means a multimillionaire, but because I work from a laptop and I've been able to do things that are repeatable and put in systems, I can work from wherever I want. And so if you want to work from anywhere in the world and have a bit more control over your own life, follow these 5 steps, and I promise you, even if you don't get there immediately, you will be much closer to living a life of freedom. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. Comment below, let me know what you're working on at the moment, and if it's at side hustle stage or idea stage. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to follow me on this journey, and I'll see you again soon.